Hello guys. So in today's video, let's discuss about phylogeny of immune system in invertebrates and vertebrates. So before that, let's see a few important points about this immunology. So immunology is generally the study of immune system, like how the immune system works and what are the cells involved in that and what are the organs involved in that and what kind of cells does this organs produce and ఎలా ఫంక్షన్ చేసి ultimately how that immune system will protect your body. So study of all this we call it as immunology. So coming to the basic definition, so it is a remarkably versatile defense system, that is immune system, that is evolved to generally protect animals from the pathogenic organisms anamata. And generally the term immunity is, we call it as resistance anamata. So resistance which is exhibited by the host. సో ఏదైతే హోస్ట్ ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ ఉంటాయో దాని లోపలికి ఎంటర్ అయిన ప్యాథోజన్స్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో బ్యాక్టీరియా కానీ వైరస్ కానీ ఫంగై కానీ సో దానికి చూపించే రెసిస్టెన్స్నే వి కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఇమ్యూనిటీ. సో జనరలీ ప్యాథోజన్స్ వచ్చేసి మనకి ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఇచ్చారు చూడండి, బ్యాక్టీరియా, ఫంజై, వైరస్, ప్రోటోజోవా, దీస్ విల్ బి దేర్. సో దీస్ విల్ బి జనరలీ కాజింగ్ డిసీజెస్ ఇన్ ది host. So ఒకవేళ if they continuously multiply in the body of the host, they will be ultimately killing the host anamata. So they will be slowly utilizing everything from the host. They will cause the disease, ultimately kills the host anamata. So but under normal conditions the infections are normal and they'll be living for only short period of time anamata. So since microorganisms attacks the body in different forms, a wide variety of immune responses are required to act against each type of infection. So for the purpose of specific kind of infections, we need specific kind of immune responses anamata. So those will be studied in this immunology. So for what kind of infection, what kind of action is taken. Then so coming to your phylogeny of immune system. So if you see all the organisms from the invertebrates to the vertebrates, a simple kind of defense system matram untundi. Then so they maybe have complex defense system, complex cells undochu, but they may also have the simpler kind of mechanism to protect itself anamata. So danni we call it as immune system. Like if you see all organisms have at least one form of defense that helps repel diseases causing organisms, and they may have one or the other kind of defense mechanisms. Advanced vertebrates, like if you see higher mammals, defend themselves against microorganisms by complex group of responses which we call it as immune system. So ఎలా అయితే మనకి రెస్పిరేటరీ పర్పస్ కి రెస్పిరేటరీ సిస్టమ్ ఉందో, డైజెషన్ కి alimentary canal ఉందో, in the same way we have this immune system for the protection of our body anamata. So these have been evolved from simple defense mechanism anamata. So if you read the definition, it is a mechanism used in the body to protect against agents that are foreign to body. So evaithe which is not as mana self kaadu, non self tissues unna organisms unna dan nunchi protection kosam there is a kind of mechanism going on in your body. So that kind of mechanism we call it as immunity. Then so now let's see the distinguishing characteristics present in invertebrates and vertebrates. Then so if you see the from the protozoans to the tunicates, these organisms can easily distinguish anamata. Idi mana body yokka cell la, idi mana body yokka cell kada. This is self and non-self, not cell. Then so it can distinguish the self and non-self components. So if you see in the case of sponges lo, so sponges structure అయితే మీకు ఐడియా ఉంటుంది. సో గ్రాఫ్టింగ్ టిష్యూ గ్రాఫ్ట్స్ చూస్తాం కదా మనం, ఎట్లయితే ప్లాంట్స్ కి గ్రాఫ్టింగ్ చేస్తామో ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే when we do these kind of tissue grafts in sponges, so if a tissue graft anedi, if you have taken from the same species of this sponges, then the tissue graft will be accepted by the body and it will be remaining healthy anamata. But if the tissue graft is from some other species, very different colony of species nunchi if you take that tissue graft, it will immediately reject anamata. Ventane danni reject చేసేస్తుంది. అంటే the sponges are able to distinguish its own species graft and other species graft ని కూడా అది distinguish చేస్తుంది అనమాట. So this kind of immunity we call it as cellular immunity, as the sponges can identify the cells and tissues of their self and non-self. ఒకసారి పాయింట్ చదవండి. Sponges will reject tissue grafts from a different colony but will accept grafts from their own ones. Done. So tissue graft from one part of the body to other on same individual adhere, readily heal and remain healthy anamata. Done. So if you take it from another colony or another species, it will not accept it. But if you take it from the same colony or from the same species, so it will be directly accepting it anamata. That is one example. Second example they have given you is about the insects anamata. So ఎప్పుడైనా any foreign organism, any foreign parasites or invaders enters into the body of the insects. So insects ఏం చేస్తాయి, it will be engulfing and directly removing it from the బాడీ అనమాట. సో ఎన్గల్ఫ్ చేసేస్తాయి, డైరెక్ట్ బాడీ నుంచి తీసేస్తాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ immune mechanism which insects have anamata. So hence insects will also have this acquired kind of immunity to the infectious agents. Just go through this once, simple away points anamata. So coming to the vertebrates, so I've just given you the outlines. So if you remember these outlines, you can elaborate the content how much ever pages you wanted to write. So if you compare the immune system of invertebrates and vertebrates, so in the vertebrates you can see the additional characteristics of presence of antibodies and lymphocytes anamata. T lymphocytes kani, B lymphocytes kani, different kinds of antibodies kani are been appeared first in the vertebrates. Then if you see the first primitive vertebrates, that is jawless fishes, hagfishes gani, lampreys gani, generally cyclostomes anamata. So these, they don't have any kind of lymphoid tissues are not present, spleen is not present, thymus is not present, and if you see their immune systems, it is very weak kind of immune system is present in the jawless fishes. Next, if you see the cartilaginous and bony fishes, they have the thymus, they have the spleen, at the same time they have IgM type of antibodies in their body. Then so slowly thymus have been developed anamata, spleen have been developed, IgM antibodies have been developed. So the development have been occurred. If you see in the fishes, so they won't have the lymph nodes but they have the lymphocytes. So if you see the fishes mode of having food, so whenever food will be enters into the body of the fishes through the water, so appudu em avutundi, it will be directly entering into the alimentary tract. So in the alimentary canal or in the gut of the fishes, lymphocytes will be roaming anamata. So whenever this lymphocytes encounters any pathogens, so they will be directly capturing those pathogens and directly removing it from the body of the fish through the gut anamata. Done. So next, if you see the amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals, they have complete immune system. If you see, they have the spleen, they have the thymus, they have the bone marrow, lymph nodes, and they even have the IgM and IgG kind of antibodies. Next is IgA, which is present in the birds and mammals. So if you see, the birds and mammals have started to develop the mammary glands, have started to produce the milk for their young ones, for caring of their young ones anamata. So this milk in the young ones will be having this IgA antibodies. Next, IgE kind of antibodies, which is present only in the mammals. So if you see, slowly from the invertebrates to the vertebrates, from the fishes to the mammals, the immune system have been slowly developed anamata, because these organisms have moved from the aquatic environment to the terrestrial environment. So if you compare the both habitats, the harsh environmental conditions are more and more dangerous in case of terrestrial environment anamata. So in order to sustain in this terrestrial environment, these organisms have been used many specific things and developed this advanced immune system which the present days mammals have anamata. Then so ippudaithe these organisms faces the harsh conditions, environmental kani, immunity paranga kani, ippudaithe they face these harsh conditions, they start to evolve or they start to produce some other kind of immune response. Ultimately organisms anni enti, they try to protect itself. So done. So this is how the invertebrates and vertebrates, its phylogeny of immune system, a basic outline. So hope you liked the video. You can see the syllabus in your PG first year syllabus. or else it will be useful for your general information also, like ఎక్కడైతే ఇమ్యూనాలజీ సబ్జెక్ట్ మనకు ఉంటుందో, లైక్ ఇఫ్ యూ సిటీజీ సెట్ కానీ in other competitive CPJET exams కానీ for your BSc or your MSc also, this will be useful for you for the basic idea. Hope you like the video. Thank you.